I've seen way too many people rush out for the cheapest patio set they can find, only to end up with chairs that crack after a single summer storm or a table that looks fine in the showroom but turns into a wobblefest after the first family barbecue. That kind of buyer's remorse makes you wonder if spending a little more upfront actually saves you money in the long run. The PURPLLAF outdoor dining set for 10 tries to be that smarter purchase, and I'm going to walk through why it might feel like a better bet and when it probably isn't. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation anyone has with a big outdoor set is the fear of committing to a piece that looks great on paper but doesn't stand up to everyday life. I've spent a couple of weeks watching how this set behaves in a real backyard, with kids running around, a dog lounging under the table, and the occasional surprise rain shower. The set is built around a sturdy aluminum frame, which instantly gives it a heavier, more anchored feel than the flimsy steel you see on a lot of budget options. That frame is paired with a tabletop made from high-pressure laminate, HPL, a material that resists scratches and won't bleed color if you accidentally set a pot of sauce on it. In practice, that means you can set out a big tray of tacos, move plates around, and not worry about a permanent ring forming on the surface. The chairs themselves are wrapped in PE rattan, a synthetic fiber that mimics the look of natural rattan but doesn't warp or fade when left out in the sun for months. The real test is how the cushions hold up, because that's where most cheap sets let you down. The cushions are removable, which is a nice touch for cleaning, and they're covered in Sunbrella fabric, a brand that's earned a reputation for being water-resistant, quick-dry, and use-stable. I actually spilled a glass of wine on one of the cushions during a dinner party, the fabric didn't soak in, and a quick rinse with a garden hose got it looking as good as new. That's the kind of day-to-day resilience you want when you're hosting friends on a humid summer evening. Now, let's talk about the practical side of having 10 seats. If you have a large family or love entertaining, the sheer capacity is a win. The table is long enough for a spread of plates, a pitcher of lemonade, and still leaves room for a decorative centerpiece without feeling cramped. The wraparound backrest on each chair gives a little extra support for people who like to linger over meals, and it also makes it easier to slide in and out of the seat when you're juggling plates and drinks. The set is delivered in a few large boxes and requires at least 2 people to assemble the table legs and attach the chairs to the frame. The instructions are clear enough, but the process isn't something you'll finish in a half hour if you're doing it solo. Also, the PE rattan, while weatherproof, does feel a bit more rigid than natural rattan, which means the chairs don't have that gentle give you might be used to on a high-end wicker set. If you're looking for that plush, lounge chair feel, you might find the seating a tad firm, especially after a few hours of sitting. Who should buy this? If you have a sizable patio, deck, or backyard that sees frequent gatherings, think family reunions, weekend brunches, or a regular game day viewing spot, the set's capacity and durable materials make it a solid foundation. The removable cushions are a blessing for households with kids or pets, because you can pull them inside for a quick wash without dismantling the whole chair. Moreover, the aluminum frame and HPL tabletop mean you won't be constantly tightening bolts or worrying about rust spots after a rainy season. On the flip side, if your outdoor space is more of a cozy balcony or a small garden nook, the sheer footprint of a 10-seat set might feel overwhelming. You might end up with a lot of empty chairs that just take up space, and the assembly effort could feel unnecessary for a more intimate setting. Likewise, if you prioritize a lounge-like, ultra-soft seating experience over hardware durability, a set with deeper, plush cushions or a different frame material could suit you better. One hidden strength that popped up during my testing is the set's resistance to wind. Because the aluminum frame is fairly heavy and the legs are bolted securely, the table doesn't wobble when a gust picks up, which is a problem I've seen with cheaper sets that tip over or need constant bracing. That stability allowed me